Hello there, and welcome to episode 4 of Weird Bandcamp Music, the show where we, of course, take a dive into Bandcamp's Discover feature to find ourselves new music from upcoming bands and artists, various genres and stuff. I've got to say, I really like doing this show because I get to discover new things that I would never have discovered otherwise, and I really enjoy the Bandcamp Discover feature for facilitating just that, basically. We're always in for a surprise with this show, with there being some truly wonderful albums to be discovered if you just dig around a little bit. Today, we're going to look at the post-rock genre, or instrumental rock, whatever you want to describe it as. Let's just dive right into it. Everything in exchange for nothing. Distance. For New Zealand, Everything in Exchange for Nothing is a pushy, ominous post-rock experience that gets frenetic and dark as it all progresses. There's a real heaviness to a lot of the tracks, which makes it very interesting when the guitars opt to drone over the top of everything else. The energy and pacing of it all is very engrossing and it sucks you into this incredibly doom miasma. A lot of tracks keep up that energy, keeping you suspended right over the top before it drops you straight into the abyss, though the group even do manage to find time to slow it all down with an ambient drone in the fourth track. It's all very enjoyable with it having that right level of intensity at just the right times. Slower. Circuits Made Simple. Circuits Made Simple is the moniker for one Trip Freeman, a musician hailing from Macon, Georgia. Slower is a short EP release of 3 tracks, slow post-rock that feels very driven by emotions and feelings, with there being this emotional core to many of the tracks. It gives the whole project a sense of cohesion as we traverse this rather desolate and barren world. The musicianship from the one person feels very impressive, with Freeman doing the bass, the guitars, the drums and the synthesizers all by himself. Very impressive stuff. Intervalos, Sorry Kini. So let me just say right off the bat, this is a delightful album release. Sorry Kini are an experimental post-rock band hailing from AN, Spain, doing what you see a lot of in the emo revival scene, of taking sort of traditional folk notions and combining it with post-rock to create what comes across as wonderful math-rocky tunes and stuff. Intervalos is simply a lovely album which reminds you a lot of American football or The World is a Beautiful Place, arguably. Some of the guitar work is just delightful to listen to, especially with the lovely drumming all supporting it up. It's the vocals though that make this a very special release, with it sitting just atop everything in such an effortless manner. Really glad to have stumbled upon this one. I also have to point out the brilliant album artwork for their 2018 release Wedding Guest. Brilliant stuff. Coming Away from the Back, Mighty Peasants. So this little unknown Bandcamp release from Mighty Peasants, a noise rock project from Portugal, takes many of the concepts you see in post-rock and fuses it with elements of noise, shoegaze and even progressive rock, with an undercurrent of emotion thrown in for good measure. There's a wonderful energy to these tracks which utilise fuzz effects to create heavy, dense atmospheres. This helps to really support the vocals which throw themselves out with such anguish and pain. It feels like an album that's been born out of some very troubled times in an attempt to find refuge, solace and understanding in the chaotic confusion of those things that happen in your life that are incomprehensible and difficult to really get your head around. The Teeth of the Winds, Funk. This ambient post-rock experience from Milwaukee, Wisconsin is one that is mysterious and unsettling as the atmospheres all just build up and up across the whole thing. Across the nameless 8 tracks, we get given some brilliant soundscapes that wonderfully utilize various pedal effects, including delays and reverbs. It gives the guitar a wonderful varied feeling throughout this little album, giving the tracks some variety whilst also contributing to the overall atmosphere being presented on the album, one that is incredibly mysterious and cold. There's a sense of isolation present on this album, one that can make you feel very empty and alone. Very unusual, very interesting. And thus concludes today's episode of Weird Bandcamp Music. You know, post-rock is a peculiar genre at times, but the emotions expressed through the abstract instrumental music is something I've always been able to get behind. We've found a very, somewhat varied expression of the genre, which for myself I'm very grateful for. I do hope you check out all these bands, though, if any of them have intrigued you. The links are in the description below. For now though, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Weird Bandcamp Music. I wish you all the best, take care, and bye bye for now. Bye bye.